Something weird's happening in real estate. And generally when something weird is going on, I like to think back to when it started and then try and connect the dots up until why I feel a particular way. And that's what we're going to do in today's video. I want to talk through the dynamics that have led to, at least in my experience, a situation that feels like one we've never been in before. Couple quick caveats. I am not going to predict what happens. I'm just going to explain to you why I think right now is such a weird time. And I also am not an expert at this, so you could hear this and you can find data and refute it. It's just my personal experience with this and my interpretation. Let's go back to March 2020 of COVID. When we entered COVID, things were just so uncertain and the housing market really closed up. Not many people wanted to sell their houses during the beginning of COVID and nobody was really looking to buy. But the financial markets actually felt like maybe we weren't going to enter a recession. And slowly over those first couple months, people started buying the houses that were on the market. And then people realized that this may be a longer situation, that they were going to live at home and work from home than just the couple weeks that we were in lockdown. So all of a sudden you had people interested in making a change or moving. So the demand side of the marketplace started to go up, where people were looking for houses or to change their living situation. Looking back over the couple months that followed that, the Fed introduced stimulus, rates were lowered, and really there was an incentive to stimulate the housing market. But you need to stimulate both sides of the housing market. And what it seems like started to happen was the demand side started to increase, because whereas before you had people who were willing to buy a house at a higher rate, now you have even more people willing to buy homes because it's less expensive for them too. But it almost had the opposite effect on the sell side. Just because home prices were going up and there was so much demand, we're still in COVID, we're still in this work from home situation. And not only that, if you sell your house and you wanted to move somewhere similar, you were going to have to join this buy side of the market. So the prices started to go up and interest rates remained lower. And then the Fed started to increase interest rates a bit. But what happened was the prices of the houses didn't come down. So generally you would expect the housing prices to come down as interest rates go up, keeping monthly payments roughly the same. And I'm going to use simple math to explain this. Let's say someone was looking for a $1 million home in January 2021. Well, that interest rate was around 3.5%. So let's say 3.25, then you're at $3,250 a month in an interest payment. Over the last 2 years, that house may have gone up 30%. So maybe it's worth 1.3, which means that the interest rate that you're getting is off of a higher value home. And the interest rate now is more expensive. So whereas it was 3.25, maybe it's 6% now. So you're talking about monthly payments that used to be $3,000 that are up to maybe $7,000 per month. So even though the housing price is only up 30%, the monthly payments that you're making are up like over 100% probably for the mortgage. This is all back of the envelope math, and it's just exemplary. So if you go and find stuff, you might find flaws with this, but this is generally how I'm viewing everything. What makes this so incredibly weird is I don't understand how we come back from this. If you think about the tools that we have, mortgage rates is the biggest one. Well, if the Fed continues to increase mortgage rates, yeah, demand is going to go down, but the prices are going to be the same. And the mortgage rates are just going to be so high that no one's really going to want to move at all. If you lower interest rates, I feel like you're just adding to the problem from a couple years ago where demand continues to go up now because people realize how cheap the financing was, but the prices are already high. So you have people who, it's already a seller's market now because there's more demand than there is supply. But if you introduce lower financing, there's just more people who are going to be in there and potentially push prices even higher. We have so far to go to get prices back to where they were. And that is why I feel like this situation that we're in is very different than anywhere we've been. And I'm just not really sure how it ends up. The only way I see someone being able to take advantage of this and not fall into this cycle that is much worse off for them than just holding on to their place would be if they wanted to sell their house and just move somewhere else completely. And that does feel like the thing that might throttle demand a bit. So let's watch what happens. Thank you for watching. If you like this sort of stuff and you want to learn more about business, here's some recommended videos. I am a new channel, relatively new, so I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.